So my name is Janiqua Jackson. I'm representing Three Sisters Market in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm a general manager. I forgot to put that piece in there. For me, I've been in grocery retail for 26 years in traditional grocery. Co-ops came to me about 10 years ago, and I got reached out to by a headhunter on LinkedIn. I had no idea what the hell a co-op was. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't even know that they were a real thing. And so when they reached out, I read like the details of the job description. I read all of those things and continued to be interested. Mind you, I had been in retail grocery for about 20 years at that time. So I started reading about it. I hated the idea. I ain't gonna tell you, I hated the idea at first because I didn't understand how this model worked from a traditional grocery background. I could not see how you could have a single standing entity store and it actually survive because I was used to corporate arms all throughout my career. So the other piece of it is community serving. So in regular traditional grocery, we have the organization of the business, the operations, they come down from corporate. There's no distinction in between store to store, really, in conventional grocery. And so to hear that there is a single center store that is community serving and community facing, it like blew my mind. But I could not fathom, like my mind could not wrap around how this actually worked. And so prayed a lot, thought about it, kept going, but I have been one of those people that just jump off a cliff. Take chances, right, and try to figure out where they go. And so this was another opportunity for me to take a chance. But for me, it sounded as if I would have a lot of autonomy where I usually didn't. And so for me, that was like, oh my God, I get a chance to kind of run my own business, but use somebody else's money to do it. What I found out by doing that, or by joining the co-op, the very first co-op that I did, what this was actually, for me, it was put me into purpose. It was aligning me with my purpose, aligning me with my assignment, helping me understand what that 20 years of fighting through grocery was for. And so for me, when I learned about co-ops, it helped me dig deeper. But digging deeper helped me understand my culture more. It helped me understand my Blackness and made me more aware of who I am and the power I stand on. And so that's why I'm still here. So in co-ops, relating to the workers is probably more powerful than the actual operations of the store because of the work that we do, because of the servitude attitudes that you have to influence your workers. You have got to build those huge relationships, and it's more of a family atmosphere. It gets you in trouble sometimes because obviously you got to be efficient running these businesses, right? But at the end of the day, like you are, as a general manager, you are literally sitting in the seat of control of all of those people who you have your hands on. And so for me, and I'm just talking about me, for me, it's very important for me to be able to be impactful, but I want my impact to mean something. And I wanted to build legacy within whatever operating system that I have. So when I'm working with people, it's not just showing them how to put groceries on the shelf. We talk about life. I'm helping them through things that they have going on. And so that's the difference because I can take time to do that in a co-op where traditional grocery, time is money. You know, it's get that pallet out, get those things on the shelf because I got something else for you to do. And so that's the flip side of co-ops. But you're actually building there. You're building community, building family, you're building those relationships. In cooperatives, you're able to influence more than regular traditional grocery. As a general manager, I play more than a role than just an operator. I'm sometimes somebody's mom, I'm their aunties, I'm their, all of those things. Mentor, consult, confidant sometimes, any type of support or resource, in a cooperative, that's the position I stand in. In traditional groceries, I think it's vice versa. They don't really want you to build that relationship with folks just because it sometimes gets you in trouble. So Three Sisters Market is located in Charlotte, North Carolina. This will be a full-service grocery store, but it is a design build, so we're taking it up from the ground. Three Sisters Market is located on West Boulevard in Charlotte, West Boulevard in Clanton. It's an old historic Black historic neighborhood in Charlotte, North Carolina, one of the last standing that has not been touched yet. but this community hasn't had a full service grocery store in over 30 years. Been fighting food apartheid is what they're dealing with. This is not a food desert, but this is a system who has continued to turn their backs on this neighborhood. And this is a very underserved community in the big metropolitan city of Charlotte, North Carolina. I work for West Boulevard Neighborhood Coalition, who is a nonprofit. This organization has advocated for resources on West Boulevard for the last 20 years on paper, but this has lasted over 40 or 50 years. The West Boulevard Neighborhood Coalition has been there. So I am one of their initiatives, but there's a few initiatives that West Boulevard Neighborhood Coalition currently has. Three Sisters Market is the food cooperative, but Seeds for Change is an urban farm. It's a quarter-acre urban farm that services that neighborhood, but also services youth. So has youth come in between 14 and 17 during the summer times, and they learn agribusiness, food sovereignty. They learn all of these important skills that they're going to be able to take home with them for the rest of their life, and be able to use those. So West Boulevard Neighborhood Coalition serves 19,000 residents. I'm taking this deep breath for a reason. It is crazy to me in 2025 that in Charlotte, that this neighborhood has not seen a full service grocery store. Within a mile radius, there's 2 Family Dollars, 2 of them within a mile radius. And then there's a Walmart on the other side of the campus. If you go a mile and a half up the road to the white neighborhoods, there's 2 grocery stores across the street from each other. Full service, Harris Teeter and Publix are across the street from each other. But this neighborhood where it sits, there is no full service grocery store. I met Guy and Ricky Hall when I was doing my very first cooperative experience about 10 years ago at one of these food startup conferences. I had just left Charlotte to go to Providence, Rhode Island, and met them here. And I'm like, what the hell? Y'all could have told me y'all was doing, I ain't have to leave, But ended up keeping in contact with them. And then eventually, years later, where we're at now, they called me and they were like, hey, Janiqua, we're ready to run. I'm like, what? Let's go. The thing about where I'm at in Charlotte, it brings me much joy because I'm servicing us. I'm servicing Black folks. When I did my job before in Providence, Rhode Island, I feel like there was some exploitation. They wanted my Black skin, but they didn't want everything else behind it, right? It was used as an anchor to gentrification. However, it wasn't used in a cooperative manner. Where I'm at right now, the reason why it brings me so much joy is because I am able to teach folks about co-ops and what they are and how beneficial they have been for us as Black people. And so for me, we're going back to the basics. We're getting back to the root, right? I always have felt like Black people as a culture, we have lost it somewhere. Somewhere we have forgotten how to hold hands and bind together and how powerful we can be when we do that. But that's what cooperation is about. And so not only am I helping to bring a grocery store, but I'm also helping bring that division back together. So that's why it's so powerful there. Has West Boulevard responded, and how are they responding to the market? This has been a heavy lift. What I have also found out about our culture is when we don't know something about something, we turn our backs and look the other way. And so this has taken, and still is taking, several ways. Like we have to pivot and figure out new ways on how to unveil Three Sisters Market and the cooperative model to this neighborhood. The other thing that, and is a learning point for me as well, when you're in underserved communities, such as the one that I'm working in right now, folks are very tight with their money already. And then when you ask to support financially to a cause, you're going to have to come up with a whole bunch of reasons and ways that are reasons why these folks should give you their money. It does not matter how small the ticket is. And so how has the response been? Great in some places, but as most know, with cooperatives, we need bundles of people to walk with us, just not 30 or 40. We need thousands. And getting those thousands of people will take time. It's tiresome but rewarding at the same time. It's tiresome because me sitting in this seat, I don't see any other way but to give my money to be able to pay and help this deploy in my community. But the fact that I have to continuously talk to people and give them other reasons, understandings of why, It drives me crazy sometimes. The other part of it is once they get it all the way. And when I tell you, we have like, I love the support that we have. I love our people because when they get it, and the support is immaculate. Anywhere you go in Charlotte, if you mention Three Sisters Market, smiles, people's face light up. Oh my God, we've needed this for so long. And so that right there is everything. I'll continue to do the work. I'll continue to be tired because that right there is everything. I'm telling you, just thank you for this opportunity. What we are doing, what Black-led co-ops are doing is something so powerful. It's going to change everything that's going on. I will hope that we all stick together and keep at the work no matter how hard it gets. And if anybody needs me, I'm here to support. Thank you. Appreciate it.